What's going on, you guys? I'm DeAndre Jerome with Our Media, where our vision is to make your vision a reality. I am joined here today by James Cronenberger, CEO and founder of Treatment Reform and Reentry, as well as Victoria Ramey, the secretary of the organization. So, guys, I just want to know a little history about the organization. When was it founded and what sparked it?
It was founded in, I believe it was 2013. When I walked out the doors of Marion Correctional in 2011, I was drafted as the president of Ohio Cure. But I could not get anybody to want to work together. You had two old ladies in their 80s wanting to fight each other. So I kind of broke away, and I worked with my former partner, who is no longer with us, Amy Wicks, and I ran her group until we formed Fair Treatment Reform and Reentry. And it was founded at the beginning to fight the parole board so all people would have a fair opportunity for parole. And anybody that sits on a board cannot judge anybody for their past. It's who they are today.
That sounds good. And what are some of the things that you guys done previously?
Every year we hold a protest, sometimes at the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation or the State House, to bring awareness to the public and the media regarding how unfair the parole board is. We have been working on legislation to get introduced on our behalf that would give people that one spark and that one chance for fair practices from the parole board, and would mandate them to go by a guideline, which they don't. We have 12 parole board members. They serve 2 sets of terms. Each term is 6 years, and they each make over $100,000 a year.
Oh, really?
Right. So it's a cushy job.
And then speaking of that, you guys have a second annual legislative day coming up. That's March 9th. What is that?
I'll start and then Victoria can finish. We had a lady who was incarcerated at ORW and another lady who was incarcerated there work on legislation that put in bill form that we're trying to get someone to introduce it on behalf of those bound by the parole board. It would give them a fair opportunity. Anybody that gets denied on parole, they would have to get a psych evaluation. Then the parole board would have to go by the psych evaluation. And it would just help them out instead of looking at their past, which was 20, 30, 40 years ago for some, and say they're still the same type of person. We know most people will change, but then there's that small percentage that will not. Want to speak on a little bit?
We just go into the State House and into the Rice Center and speak to the senators and the House representatives on our bill and how our bill would change the parole board and help people that are getting paroled and people that are not getting paroled. And the best way to do it is to go in and sit down face to face with each senator and explain to them what our bill speaks of and what the legislation speaks of and everything that we have laid out in it, and how it would help the system and help people.
It would also save millions of dollars due to medical expenses from those that's been down for so long, and get them out while they still can work. They won't be a burden on society.
That sounds like a great thing. So because this one is the second one, how did the first one go? We
had, I think, most of the people that actually showed up to help us was from Cleveland or Canton. Okay. This year, I think we're going to, this one, I'm hoping to get more from Columbus, since it's since it would be easier for them to attend it. And we're kind of afraid sometimes to make appointments and not have enough people there, so we're going to limit it to, I think, 7 appointments and try to have at least 10-15 minute intermission between each one, so you would have time to get to each office.
Our last one, we had at least 4 of the legislators that we spoke with that were on our side and that were willing to take our bill and read over it and maybe take some things from it and put them into another bill that's in legislation now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that Senator Eklund is getting ready to introduce a bill that it looks like some of our pointers are in his legislation. And he's working with Senator Laner, who's out of Dayton, and Eklund's out of Chardon. But this will give some of the people some relief, but it's not quite as strong as ours would be.
So it sounds like you guys get support from all over, which is a good thing. So I know you guys have a project that's currently going on. It is transitional housing for former inmates. Just let us know a little bit about that and how close are you guys to completing the project?
Well, our goal is this time next year to have the building up and running. Our goal is to go and help those with lack of family support, or even we could say as far as those with that's hard to place offenders that might have restrictions or in that area. But right now we have to raise quite a bit of money. We're working on some grants, and the grants are extremely difficult. You have to be precise on everything to be able to get anything close to $1 million to get what you need accomplished. But right now we're holding periodically fundraisers at restaurants where you just go and order something and then we get a percentage. We just had one a couple weeks ago. We have a website, fairtreatmentreformandreentry.org. People can make donations on our website, also view the buildings that's on there. But our goal is still this time next year.
What our program will do is we'll have GED classes available, psychological counselors available to them, transportation for them to get back and forth to Job and Family Services and get IDs, and just basically have everything set up in approximately 6 months. They'll be in our program as a live-in program. They'll learn how to readjust back into society. It's not going to be a building that's going to make them feel like they're back in prison. They'll have somewhat of freedom and be able to have family visits and things like that they can't have behind bars.
And I think the biggest thing is accountability. And we all need accountability. They'll be able to go to the store and stuff, but I always suggest that they walk with another person or with staff. If you get accused, at least you have an excuse. You're with this person. So accountability is very important. That's for any of us that did any time. So that's probably our biggest project right now, and it's taken up quite a bit of time trying to network with other organizations and city leaders as well as state legislators.
All right, and then anyone who has any information or could possibly help grow this project, how would they reach out to you guys?
They could send us an email, and it's all small letters, fairtreatmentreform@gmail.com, or they can call us at 614-404-4924.
All right. Let's see. What are some things that you would like to see happen over the years from this organization?
We would like to see, for one, we would like to see legislation to help out people that's bound by the parole board before they end up dying in there. These guys, I think our oldest inmate right now is 96 years old.
Oh, really?
And he's been down 54 years. You know, he's going to have to go to a nursing home. But you have a lot of them that's in the late 50s to early 60s that might still be able to work. Get these guys out so they can work, support their families, be with their families. And, you know, we do have sympathy for the victims, but keeping these people in any longer is not going to undo what happened. So we need to surround ourselves and help these people so there will be no new victims. That's our number one goal, is no new victims.
Do you guys have any connections with businesses to employ them?
Some.
We have some businesses. I have a list on the website. I don't have it with me right now, but I have a list on the website of employment companies and things like that we work with.
We're also a referral to Dress for Successful
Yes.
Women, which has business type clothing, purses and stuff to help women coming out of prison. And also Impact, and you could explain the Impact.
Impact has a reentry program where you go in through reentry courses, as they call it, where you take schooling for different jobs, such as forklift driver and things like that. It's, I believe, a 6-week course. You get paid weekly for going through it. Once you get done with it, they put you through a full graduation. And a lot of guys that have went through it that I've talked to said that as soon as they walked off the stage from the graduation, there were companies there to hire them that day,
really?
setting up appointments with them for
That's a big one.
for interviews and things like that.
That's definitely a big one. I just want to start you guys off with some donations to get people, get in the giving mode. Doesn't matter how little or how much you have, something is always.
Right, and that's a big part of reentry is when people come out of prison, they only have what they have on their back when they went in. So that's one thing that I get calls for all the time is when they get released, they need clothing, they need their driver's license, they need their birth certificate and things like that to be able to get a job. So that's the number one thing for part of reentry is having what you should have when you get out.
And plus bus passes also come in
Yes.
handy, just in case if we don't have a vehicle as of yet. So they would have a way to get to what they need to.
Exactly. So here's that. So I believe that wraps up this interview. I just want to thank you guys for coming to speak with us. I think it's a really good thing that you guys are doing. I want to see it grow. Whatever we can do here to help you guys reach those goals, definitely let us know. We'll be more than willing to do that.
Well, thank you.
And that's everything.